Have you heard of the legend of the Coffin Princess? The legend speaks of a princess whose dynasty lasted a short time. And every year on July 7th, near the princess's tomb, people see a ghost in a red dress. It seems to be the ghost of the thick-thighed lady, but she has this deformed face who dares to venture. She wanders around the tomb. We see our protagonist speaking. The day of the princess's death is also the day when her energy is strongest. And on July 7th of this year, the leader of the beggar clan will guide us all to the princess's cemetery. When the time comes, I will take you to the most incredible live stream in history. And together, we will share this moment. Does the princess really exist? Or is this a lie? Discover all the mysteries in today's live stream. The chubby guy seeing this announcement on TikTok says, "Dude Fang, we barely launched the video and it's already blowing up. Just the promotion has already hit over 1 million. This one's definitely gonna be big." Fang is all confident and praises the chubby guy's work, as expected from a professional director. The director thanks him, but inside he's thinking, damn, I didn't want to do this live stream here, but it's just that I'm thinking about money. The workers under the boss are all kinda not wanting to do this job in the middle of the forest either. Until a guy comes running to warn that the actress who was supposed to come said that this place here is too remote, and so she will be late. The director shouts that it's a simple performance, so tell her to come soon. We can't miss this broadcast. The sweating boy agrees and the director tells everyone, we have to be ready by 11:30 and it's already past 7. Hurry up, you idiots. Fang is impressed with the professionalism of this team and thinks, I spent $1,000 to make this happen, but if today's live goes well, we'll reap the profits. But the director tells him that the actress is kinda late and Fang slumps in his chair thinking, it hasn't even started and there are already problems. The chubby guy tells him it's no problem, she'll show up already. A while later, it's almost 11 o'clock and still no sign of the girl. Where is she? The boy who was calling her said she's not answering her phone anymore. The director says to tell her that if she doesn't show up, they'll sue her, and then tells the kid to put on the dress and play the role of the ghost. The boy is confused but gets a kick from the director. But right at that moment, he tells the director that she arrived and she's up there. On a mountain, there really is a girl with silver hair. Everyone is confused. Not only did she arrive, but she brought her own clothes. And besides, the clothes she brought are much better than the ones they had prepared. The director then tells them to start the recording and tells Fang that they are ready. The guy puts his cap on backwards, the cameraman turns on the lights, and he says to the live, today we are here at the princess's tomb and you all must have heard of the legend. Lately, more and more supernatural events have been happening around the world. And just in the place where we are, the ghost in the red dress has already been seen 5 times. He says there are a lot of messages in the live, you know it's going well. Of course, there are a lot of people doubting, saying it's fake. Fang then tells them to continue the exploration and walks through the forest. He arrives in front of her tomb and says that it's very sad. Her soul has been wandering for so long, and they say she appears on July 7th to talk about her sorrows. One of the cameramen sets a rock for him to pretend to get scared. He then looks up the top of the mountain and thinks, now I just have to get close to her according to the script. Seeing the girl from afar, he already thinks she's a very professional actress and of her. The money was well spent. The boy trying to contact the actress calls the director, who tells him to shut up because the live is going very well. Popularity has already exceeded 1 million and they are in the top 10. According to my contract, I get 10% of everything. The boy tries again to talk to him, but the director tells him to shut up and asks, are you tired of receiving a salary? Turns to the crew and tells them to hurry up because it's almost midnight. Mr. Fang, it's time for you to find the actress. On top of the mountain, just follow the script. The boy insists once more and informs the director that the actress he had found said she wouldn't come today. At that moment, a gust of wind hits everyone and they wonder what's happening. The boy gets startled and informs that she disappeared but gets a slap on the head. The director tells him that it's obvious she disappeared. It's part of the script. She tells Fang that the actress is ready, so he just needs to climb the mountain. Fang looks up the top and thinks that this gust of wind scared him. However, he isn't afraid and moves forward. Then he asks the live, does the princess's ghost really exist here? The boy comes again to tell the director the same thing. Show me the message from the actress who said she wouldn't come. At that moment, the director gets scared. She's not coming. Who's up there on the mountain? When Fang sees her closer, he's amazed by her beauty. He falls backward there to make some drama for the live, but thinks, this actress is too professional. I can't even believe it. He starts acting, trembling, and asks, who are you? The director wants to know the same thing, and one of the cameramen advises to look at her feet. They realize she's floating on the live. Everyone is impressed with the level of cinematic production, while the director begins to wonder if they've encountered a real ghost, the true princess of the dynasty. The boy grabs him, saying it doesn't make sense since ghosts aren't captured on cameras. One guy wants to know if she's an alien. Fang is doing his theater. Who are you? Don't come closer. However, he's impressed with the quality of the clothes and the hair dye. Everything is perfect. It seems I hit the jackpot with this team. It's time for my performance. He then leaps and says to her, I'm not afraid of you. I was born in the sunlight and lived in the spring breeze. A mere ghost doesn't scare me. He looks over there and waves while the cameramen think he's crazy. The ghost comes with her hands ready to grab. The director has to warn him that it's good for the live. However, the guys who are recording say there was an electromagnetic discharge and they can't communicate with Fang's headset anymore. They tell the director they should run and leave that guy behind. Then there's a gust of wind carrying some feathers that tear up the whole ground. Suddenly, the ghost grabs Fang by the neck. When he sees her face, he's amazed at how cute she is. In the live, most comments say that even though she's a ghost, they would venture. While Fang is confused, how does this woman have so much strength? I'm almost suffocating here. He tells her to let go, thinking she's really trying to kill him. I can't breathe. Everyone down there is also afraid of dying and tells the director to think of a solution. I'm too young to die. But the director also has no idea. Fang is almost passing out and going to the next life. However, the power of capitalism is stronger when he thinks, do you know how much I spent to make this happen? This live is very important. All she has to do is play her role right. He grabs her arm and tells her to let go. A golden bracelet on his wrist then glows. An aura emanates from his body and she releases him onto the ground, almost choked to death, and thinks, this ghost almost strangled me, and they call themselves a professional team. Is this how they act? But then he remembers it's in the middle of the broadcast and needs to follow the script. I worked so hard to make this happen. I won't let it fail. He looks at her and says, I never expected to see the ghost woman here really haunting the princess's tomb. I won't lie, my whole life I've been a virgin and single. And since you want to kill me, I'm going to do something I never thought I'd do before I die. My live heroes listen. Even if I become a ghost and die here, there'll be a romantic death, because today I'm going all out. He then approaches the princess and says, Princess, please abandon this millennia-old obsession and marry me. The director wasn't expecting this and everyone on the live is incredulous. Fang the fool is feeling confident, thinking he created the perfect scene. The contrast between pain and romance. This is the climax of the live. Does the ghost repeat the words? She looks at him and a gust of wind starts to happen. Fang is confused, wondering what's happening with this actress. Why isn't she following the script again? She was supposed to turn around and run after that. She suddenly approaches, heading towards the ring, and asks him, why did you come to marry me now? He's somewhat confused, not sure what to respond. But suddenly, the ghost starts crying and asks, why did you make me wait so long? Fang starts questioning how these production team guys are creating all these effects. The girl is now screaming, wanting to know, why did you leave me alone? Everyone on the team gets blown away, and the director hits his back on a tree. The girl starts transforming into a creature of shadows. Fang is desperate, trying to escape. Damn it, this can't be part of the production. I have to make a name for myself still. I haven't earned enough money, and I'm not ready to die. But the ghost stands there crying and asks him, why are you leaving me already? Don't abandon me like this again. Fang suddenly stops and remembers some memories when his parents said, you'll stay here a few days, okay? Your mom and dad will be back soon. Your uncles will take good care of you. But obviously, what happened was very different. He was mistreated and beaten every day, and his uncles would tell him, your relatives don't like you, so either you work or you won't have anything to eat. In bed, he would always cry, asking his parents to come back, saying he would be obedient. He just didn't want to be abandoned again. Seeing the ghost, he thinks they are alike, so he puts his hand on her head and tells her not to cry. He then takes the ring from the box, puts it on her finger, and hugs her. He tells her that he's back to marry her, breaking her curse. Strangely, the ghost sends him flying upward, hitting his head. The girl apparently is bipolar. The next day, he wakes up with a whole production trying to wake him up, saying they thought he was dead. He asks what happened and where the ghost is. They look at each other and say that after that gust of wind, everyone passed out. He happens to remember something before they passed out. But the cameraman says unfortunately they don't remember anything, and with the wind, the camera only recorded the ground. Fang remembers putting the ring on her finger but tells them he doesn't remember anything either. He probably passed out at the same time as everyone else. The director then informs him that he gained 150,000 followers just last night and the live made over $30,000. After they release the video, his popularity will increase even more. Fang is all happy, telling the ridiculous director he won't forget to send his share. But now it's better for everyone to return since they spent the whole night in the forest. With that, our boy is heading back home. But his house is very abandoned. the content creator life isn't easy. He enters the house, grabs a Coke while seeing that his video has already hit 100,000 views. The comments are crazy and he already feels the taste of success. But he starts to wonder who that girl was. He didn't even ask her name, and the strangest thing is that he slept all night but was still exhausted and sleepy. Moreover, he offered to marry her. He just doesn't expect her to keep following him. After all, he wants to live for a long time and doesn't want to carry so much resentment. He lies down on the bed and thinks she must have gone back to her grave, right? As he closes his eyes, saying he needs to think about how to make more money with these videos. Night falls and he sleeps. When he wakes up, he goes to grab his phone, but something strange happens and he wonders, "Where's my phone?" Suddenly, he sees the ghost on top of him and gets startled. "I'm dreaming again, it must be." As the saying goes, we think during the day and dream at night. This dream of mine is so crazy it feels like reality. Dreams change according to my will. He closes his eyes and starts repeating to himself, "I can't see, I can't see." But when he opens them again, she's there staring at him. Damn it, she didn't disappear. I'm too tired, that's why I can't even control my dreams. It must be that. I remembered a tip. To know if you're in a dream, just try to put your finger through your hand. If it's a dream, I'll be able to move it easily. He tries the test, but it hurts a lot. And the ghost girl asks what he's doing. He starts to wonder if this isn't a dream. Then he touches her, saying it feels very real, and then asks her why she's there. Thinking, darn it, this ghost followed me, is she trying to kill me? She takes his hand, and he imagines she doesn't want to kill him. She all cute, says she just came to see him. Our guy is confused and asks, "Why do you want to see me? We don't even know each other." She says it's because he's her husband now, which leaves our hero scared. Wait, what's this situation? Does she really think I'm her husband? She starts activating his powers and asks, "Have you forgotten already?" He realizes then that everything from last night was real and the most important thing now is to survive, so he speaks up. He said he hasn't forgotten and asks her name, to which she responds, "It's Lily." She smiles all happily and he, happy to have survived, wonders, why is this ghost so beautiful? Am I seeing things wrong or have I been single for too long? Then he asks her, "How did you end up here?" This place is at least 10 kilometers from the tomb. Lily then starts floating toward him and enters the pendant. Fang is confused, wondering where she is, and suddenly she comes out of his belly, saying she's inside his body now. The poor guy freaks out and accidentally expels her, throwing her to the ground, thinking she's cute and seems to have no ill intentions toward him. She gets up, steps on her dress, and clumsily falls. Fang asks why she doesn't change her clothes as they're too long and difficult to move in. She agrees and starts using a power, and our hero thinks she'll activate some special clothing change. But in fact, it was the legendary power of demonetization that makes any protagonist fall backward and have a nosebleed. He throws her a change of clothes and tells her to get dressed for God's sake, wondering, why does this ghost seem so different from the ones in the movies? Is she trying to end my purity after these 20 years? Then he asks if she put on the clothes, to which she says yes. When he turns around, he sees that the buttons are struggling more than Rock Lee versus Gaara to withstand the pressure of the mountains and almost bleed again. He then asks her if she really will stay here with him, and if they're now really husband and wife. Lily said yes, and that she'll go wherever her husband goes, and whatever he wants, he just has to say, and she's ready to obey. Our hero is just thinking he has to calm down, he can't have these thoughts about the legendary 1,000-year-old tomb princess. He tells her to come with him while thinking. She said she'll obey me, but even ghosts lie, so I have to test her. Elaine is curious to know what he's going to do. This is something only couples can do. But he takes her to the bathroom and puts her in front of the mirror, wanting to know why he brought her there. He then tells her, "You said I'm your husband, and you'll do what I say, right?" She says, "Yes, that's right." Fang then says he's going to teach her something she'll have to do every day. Brushing her teeth. If you're going to stay with me, you have to brush your teeth every morning and evening. Put the toothpaste here, like this. I'll teach you, come here. This is to clean your mouth. She jumps with her mouth open and takes a bite, but that was Fang's toothbrush, leaving him wondering, isn't this an indirect kiss? And teaches her properly while not being able to stop thinking about how beautiful she is. After a while, he says she did everything right and just not to use his toothbrush again because he'll buy one for her. Lily thanks him while he pets her. Our hero then asks, "Why are you so sure I'm your husband? And why are you treating me like this?" She says she doesn't remember and doesn't know why, but she's sure he's her husband and she's been waiting for him for a long time, and there's something she's also looking for, but she doesn't know exactly. This makes her sad. Fang is thinking something she's looking for. Does it have to do with memory loss? She takes a look at the note on her forehead, wondering what that thing is. Our guy thinks he has no idea what that is, but being something from a 1,000-year-old ghost, he won't even try to understand it. In front of the toilet, he's thinking, they say ghosts that stay on Earth are waiting to finish something they didn't complete in their past lives. What couldn't she finish? But he looks to the side, and she's there peeking, so he asks, "Hey, what are you doing?" She says she's waiting. He wants to know what she's waiting for, so he kicks her out of the bathroom, thinking he'll try to find a solution later. Because it's still possible she's just pretending to be cute, but soon she'll show her claws and cruelty. But she really is cute when she calls me husband. But darn it, I'm human, and she's a ghost. Things are different. There's no way to make this work, so I better find a way to make her leave soon. He opens the door and is startled to see her lying there next to one of his magazines with images of fruits like melon and papaya. He tries to grab it, and she flies away. He wants to know where she got it, saying it was under his bed. But she wants to know why no one covers the fruits in this book. Is this something couples do? Does she have to do this too? Fang is startled by this question and tries to grab it again, making up an excuse that he got it from a bald guy at the mall. He opens a page and asks why the girl is praying on her knees so shyly in front of the guy. He snatches it from her hand and tells her to stop looking at his stuff without permission. She sits, saying it's okay, and Fang is about to say something when suddenly she's in his face again, but now looking down, saying she wants to see what's there. He tells her to stop looking there, but Lily says the pictures look different from reality. She says they need to fix this now and moves in, but Fang tells her to forget what she saw and that it's not that simple. She says if they're a couple, then it has to be simple and easy. But our hero disagrees, saying they just met, and he tells her to sit so they can talk, but he's thinking he just doesn't want to lose his first time just like that. But if she insists a little more, he won't be able to resist, He's happy she finally obeyed and sat down. He's about to say something again when she suddenly says, "Got it." The people in the book didn't have a cloth, and she rushes at him in search of freedom. Fang is all confused, wondering why she pretends to stop and doesn't, while she asks if this is good, if this will make him want her. He grabs his shirt and throws it at her, saying, "Enough of this. Stop trying to do these things you saw in the book. Then I'll accept you." Lily agrees, and he asks, "By the way, don't you have magic to get some new clothes?" She explains that she can't create things out of nothing while sniffing his clothes. He snatches it from her hand and tells her to stop sniffing it. Fang is thinking that normally ghosts are invisible and not captured by cameras, so he asks, "Lily, are you really a ghost?" She looks confused and says she's not a ghost. Our hero then asks what she is, but she just lowers her head, saying she doesn't have an answer. Fang starts to ponder, is she the reincarnation of some feeling? To make her leave soon, they need to figure this out. And he asks, "Do you remember where you got lost?" She says she doesn't remember and that she's hungry. Fang is impressed that a ghost feels hungry and tells her to come with him, goes to the fridge and says he doesn't know what ghosts eat, grabs the only thing in the fridge and gives it to her. Lily hesitantly accepts, takes a bite, and returns it, saying she didn't like it. That's not enough to satisfy her. He finds this response strange. Not enough to satisfy her? Does a ghost need energy like humans do? But human food isn't enough. What kind of energy does the ghost need? She's not going to steal my energy, right? At that moment, she looks outside and says she smells delicious food. He goes out to check it out, but she grabs his shoulder and flies away with him. She takes him for a stroll in the city. He asks where she's going and tells her to take him back home, at least for his shoes. The couple then arrives in the forest, and she really brought him back to change his shoes. When he opens his eyes, he sees an abandoned school. He recognizes the name and thinks he's heard of that place before, and it's clearly all abandoned. He checks the GPS, and indeed they're where he thought they were, a place that appears in the news for being extremely scary and deserted. The story of why is very strange. A company bought the entire region to build an amusement park. However, when construction began, a bunch of accidents happened and many people died, so the project was canceled. Fang asks Lily why they're there. Staring at the building, she says there's delicious food inside. He finds this strange, delicious food. She's not trying to eat ghosts or evil spirits, right? He then runs to hide behind a tree and tells her she can go ahead and eat whatever she wants. But she says she can't stay away from her husband and starts pushing him inside. He says he doesn't need that and that he'll go in. He's happy. And then we hear about a case from the school. 10 years ago, there were several disappearances at the school. A 6th grade student named Liang Xiang disappeared inside the school. Relatives reported it to the police. However, they couldn't find any trace, neither in the school nor in the mountains. It was as if the girl had ceased to exist. But a month later, her body was found inside the school, all chewed up and terrorizing everyone. The police closed the area and conducted an autopsy on the body. It revealed that she had been dead for a month. There was no clue as to how that body got there. It just appeared out of nowhere, and 2 weeks later, the school manager tested the durability of a rope. After these incidents, a few more occurred until the school was abandoned. Our hero is just there remembering these news and praying that there's nothing strange there, while Lily is just having fun. He tells her, "How about we go home?" But she gives him a stare that says he was kidding. Why do I feel like I can't trust her? But I've noticed she's pretty strong. He opens a door, terrified, while she's already there ahead, running away. They walk down the hallway until she points and says, "Let's go there on the 5th floor to the manager's office." She flies happily. Our guy is desperate, but runs after her. When he arrives, she points, saying that's delicious food, but when he blows on it, it's just a cone, and there's nothing strange. But suddenly she takes it from his hand, swallows it, and says it's delicious. He asks why she swallowed it, but he realizes the room has gotten warmer. She explains that it was spiritual energy, and that's how she fills her stomach. Our guy is kind of confused. Was that what's evil about this school? Until she says, "I'm feeling there's more delicious food." He asks where, and she says she doesn't know, but it's close. Fang agrees, saying he'll take her there, but then he stops and thinks, what if I make an adventure video? A video about supernatural places? And he tells her he had an idea while they search for food for her. He can make money. She's confused and asks, how do you make money? Fang says, didn't you say you can feel spiritual energy? She says she can feel the direction, and he replies that's perfect thinking. If I take advantage of this ability of hers, I'll be able to capture several supernatural incidents and make a lot of money. He then hands her the phone and tells her always to keep the camera pointing at him. If the recording turns out well, he'll always take her to eat something delicious. With that, she's all happy, and he's excited to have a wife who can fly and even use magic to make videos. There's really nothing better than that for a supernatural explorer like him. Now it's just recording, posting, and making a lot of money and followers. He tells her, you know what you're going to do, right? First, film, and then eat. And he warns her that no matter what happens, she has to film properly. He then starts the live stream saying, what's up, folks? Long time no see. It's 1 a.m., and after visiting the legendary princess at the cemetery, here I am again. This time at Yuan School, an abandoned place in the suburbs of the mountains. This school was built 40 years ago for the children of the Haiyuan village, but 10 years ago, a mysterious disappearance of a girl occurred. Since then, various mysterious accidents have occurred. 3 years ago, the place was demolished, and the entire population left the town. Are all these incidents a coincidence? Or all orchestrated by someone? Are there really ghosts in this place? I'll take you on a tour of the abandoned school in search of the truth. As you can see, we're in the administrator's office. At this moment, behind him, the comb starts to fly. Lily is starving to eat but holds back since she needs to film first. Fang continues the story, saying this was the last place where the missing girl's body was seen, right in front of the administrator's office, which tested the strength of Chinese ropes. So this place is the source of many mysteries, and during my exploration, I accidentally found a girl's comb, right here on his desk. Fang wonders where the comb is until he sees it floating and thinks it's Lil's doing. Didn't I tell her not to use her powers to help me? Why is she doing this? At this point, something grabs his hand, and when he turns, she grabs his neck. Damn, what is this? Another ghost choking me. But he can't even scream, and his body is getting stiff because the ghost ability prevents him from moving. He's trying to call for help from Lily, but from her point of view, she can't see anything. She's just standing there, wanting to finish filming the video and eat. Fang realizes he's about to lose consciousness when the bracelet activates again. He then grabs her wrist. The ghost is confused, wondering, how is he touching me? Domestic violence then occurs, and at least he starts breathing again. Even he's confused by this golden power in his hand. But the demon asks, why did you do that to me? She comes for another attack, but something in Fang's mind tells him to duck, and he dodges. He realizes his body is much more flexible, almost like a gymnast. The ghost starts trying to flee, but hits the door. Lily trapped her and told Fang to take advantage of the situation. He then realizes the voice in his head is Lily's. But did she also give him this power? It doesn't matter because now he's going to take this chance to test this power. He tries to punch, but the ghost dodges, but she's afraid, wondering, damn, who is this guy? I have to get out of here. But he manages to hold her and says she won't escape. As he's all about gender equality, he throws her against the wall with such force that she vomits. Fang says, you dared to attack me and now I've got you, so don't even think about escaping. But here comes the special attack that finishes anyone. She starts transforming, taking on a very interesting appearance, comes close to his ear and asks him to let her go. If he says he'll let her go, she'll do anything delicious he wants. What a softie, this girl turned his ear into a C. But our boy is starting to like this cutie until he notices someone staring at him. When he looks, he realizes that Lily is going to want to kill him and says, in broad daylight under the clear sky, you offer me something so improper. The ghost is confused, thinking it's neither day nor clear sky. But he doesn't stop. Don't think these unorthodox methods will break my determination of steel. Thank goodness Lily woke me up from this illusion. Otherwise, I would have been beaten up later. But this new ghost is unstoppable and says, brother, you have to believe me. I won't hurt you anymore. But she gets in with the power, and our boy feels the effect. And now he can't touch her anymore. She says she only approached to absorb his spiritual power. Then she punches him, and our boy goes flying. Laughing like the Joker, she says, arigato for the spiritual power, now you have no way to escape. Fang is dodging and surviving, and she's getting confused since he seems to be getting faster and faster, so she needs to finish this quickly. She lets out a scream and goes for another attack, trying to grab his face. But he manages to hold her wrist. She comes for another strike, and he says, to kill me, you have to learn to do things right, woman. She's going crazy, but he hits her again. Truly, the boy has talent and has turned this into UFC. He's headbutting the table with the poor girl. She's unable to defeat Fang because Lily is sucking all her energy. He then lifts her by the collar and asks, now creature, why are you causing trouble here? But suddenly, she stops and starts crying. Our boy feels embarrassed, thinking this will look bad on the live stream as he's now appearing like a villain. He drops her to the ground and she asks why she's being treated like that. She turns into a child again, and Fang recognizes her from internet posts, so he says, Lian Shang, is that you? She confirms and apologizes for attacking him. The content creator's spirit is unstoppable, and he's already imagining how successful he'll be if he solves this mystery. So he starts asking her questions. How did you die? Why did you attack me in this school? Is there anyone else here? She says some guy forced her to do all this, but she didn't want to. Our protagonist asks who this guy is and if her death is related to him, already imagining a big mustached uncle. Who is he? Why would someone harm a girl like you? He hugs her, telling her not to be afraid as Big Brother here will help her. She asks if that's true, and if so, she'll explain. But then, a dark power appears on her back and she's pulled away. Our boy tries to save her, but it's too late. And a giant demon appears, saying, are you looking for trouble? How dare you touch my Ling Shan? You're going to die. The creature comes to punch him, and our proto realizes the spirit is very strong. But Lily steps in and says, what do you think you're going to do to my husband? She creates a barrier to try to protect them, but he's thrown and hits his back. Both of them seem about to pass out. When he opens his eyes again, he's in her arms. At least she wasn't killed. He then gets up but almost falls from the tree, and she saves him just in time. He looks to the side and sees they're still at the entrance of the school. We managed to get out alive. What happened to Liang Xiang? Lily says what's inside is very powerful, and he asks if she can't defeat it. She sadly says that with her current spiritual power, she can't. But at least she managed to finish the video, and now it's time to eat. She takes a finger of Sukuna, and our protagonist asks where she got that from. Lily says when the spirit grabbed him, she took the opportunity to pull it off. Seeing the size, Fang is incredulous, wondering how she's going to eat all that. She just tosses it up, pulls all the energy, and that's it, she's fed. He notices that when she feeds, his exhaustion and tiredness also disappear. It seems these sources of negative energy are the best for her. He then asks Lily what happened after I passed out and how did you bring me here? And why was my reaction time so good? She was about to explain, but the sun starts to appear and burn her body, so she grabs him and flies to the apartment. Poor thing is trembling and melting, he has to close all the windows. Once everything is dark, she says she finally feels comfortable. He puts her down and starts petting her. The funk explains that the curtains there won't be able to block the light later. What will she do? Or will she hide? She says she'll enter his body. With the contract they formed, she can't die inside him. Fang jumps in surprise, asking, when did I form a contract with you? Lily responds, wasn't it you who said you wanted to marry me? That's our contract now, since now you and I are one. As long as you can find things for me to eat, I'll regain my original energy. Our hero is confused. What's with this talk of becoming one? She says that if she runs out of spiritual energy, he dies too. And obviously, if he dies, she dies too. Now the fatigue he felt when he woke up is explained. Fang then wants to know, was the extra strength I had your doing? She says yes, now he can use part of her power. If she's strengthened, he'll become very strong. Poor Fang is having an information overload. Back in the school, the little ghost is being thrown against the wall. A shadow with red eyes speaks to her. I sent you to kill, and not only did you not obey me, you also spread information about me. You should know that if we don't kill them, we'll die. Liang Xing, you're mine. I won't let you go. Never. I can feel they'll come back. And next time, I'll kill them both with this hand. Too bad, there's a finger missing now. The scene then shifts to our boy ordering Naruto ramen. The chef finds it strange because normally he only shows up when they're about to close. So why is he here so early? He says it's nothing. He just wanted to wake up early today. The guy hands over the ramen, which looks very good. Our greedy boy starts eating, but he's having a mental chat with her, asking what's with her not having enough soul power. She explains she lost all her physical strength, and now that she's a ghost, she needs soul power. He then asks what are the methods to recover. She says the easiest is to eat cursed objects like yesterday, but she can also absorb fear from others to recover. Fang gets curious about this fear absorption. She explains that's how spirits survive. To exist as a spiritual entity, they need to scare people and absorb that feeling. That increases their power. Our boy starts thinking that he only managed to awaken her because he was doing the live stream, and the fear of the viewers gave her a lot of energy. He's back home now watching yesterday's fight. If the live stream had this effect of boosting her energy, I think the video will too. Impressed that the recording was absolutely perfect. No professional could have recorded so steadily. If you add some scary background music, some comments on top, this has a chance to cause a lot of fear and make him richer, obviously. Remembering the director who was nice last time, he decides to let him handle it again. He calls her and she teleports in front of him smiling and gets scared but asks, "What did we find last night in that school?" She interrupts saying it was something very delicious. Fang asks if she can handle it because that way they can go back there and make a series for the channel and also save poor Liang Xing, who's trapped. But she says she can't unless she finds the hairpin. Our boy asks if she remembered anything. She says after eating all that stuff, she kind of remembers a bit. It's near her tomb, but she's not sure. And then she puts on a crying face, saying, "Please, husband, help me. It's very important." Our boy is becoming quite the player and replies, "Since you and I are now one entity, of course I'll help you. But with this hairpin, can you defeat that creature?" She says yes. With the hairpin, she devours everything. The protagonist asks how they're going to find something like that. I have no idea what it looks like or where it could be. She explains that some people stole her tomb and she scared 2 of them until they went mad. Another one escaped and she doesn't know how, and probably the hairpin is in his possession. But that was 6 months ago. Fang says it's been a long time. This guy could be in any country in the world. She says that's not the case because after absorbing yesterday, she can sense that it's close. She just doesn't know exactly where, but it's in the city. He then says, "Perfect, show the way, and together we'll find this hairpin." Then we go back to school, finish everything off, and film. She agrees, saying there will be plenty to eat that way. Our guy then decides to take a look and see something on the internet about someone who kept going to her tomb. At that moment, he receives a message and thinks it's from Director Wang, but it's a message from the police, warning that there have been several attacks in the Haitian region. It's good not to go out at night and always be accompanied. Our guy finds it strange that the police have been issuing many of these alerts lately, so something different is happening. Back with the gang that helped him record, they're all beat, they haven't had any work lately, and one of them says it would be good if Fang gave them another job. Another one gets angry and says, "Didn't you see that we almost died there?" It's good that he didn't ask for anything else. The shaggy-haired guy says, "What do you guys think about leaving this company?" The director is nice, but there's never anything to do. But just then, the director opens the door and says, "Work's coming, kids." Everyone starts pretending they were doing something and asks, "What's the job this time?" He bangs on the table and says he put it in the group. The job this time is again for Mr. Feng. The guys get scared and want to know, "We're not going to do another live stream in a cemetery, right, boss? Our lives are more important." The boss tells them to relax since it's just video editing, and he'll even pay $1,000. And if the video gets popular, they'll get a share of the profit. They then open the video to watch it. Wow, he made another supernatural adventure. This guy is out of his mind. But unless he's finding more ghosts, it won't be that good. There are already plenty of mediocre ghost videos. The kid next to them says last time he got really lucky for all that to happen. And also lucky to come out alive, but it's impossible to go viral. Director Dalmo Branda says they don't know anything since this one turned out even better. It's our pot of gold. This time our studio will return to its former glory. The guys are watching our protagonist still doing the intro, until they all start getting scared and wondering, why is the calm floating? It's almost choking our friend out of anxiety. They see the protagonist pulling the ghost off the table and are perplexed. What the hell is this? It's not possible. Did he hire some 3D production team? There's a mechanism on the table. There's something strange. The director says, "I thought that was the case too." But with my 10 years of production and editing, I went through it image by image, frame by frame, and didn't find anything strange. A while later, they finished watching. The director says he's watched it several times, but it still scares him. The kid pulls the director and asks, how did Ling Shang die? Who's behind all this? Is this story really related to the case from 10 years ago? The director pulls out the paper and responds, oh, I looked at the news from 10 years ago. The girl in the video is identical to the girl in the case. If this video impresses us who understand about editing, imagine those who don't. It's certain it will become popular and will receive a share of the profits. Now we're talking about making more money. Now everyone's motivated. 4 hours later, the terror of the ghost school. Hayu in primary school. The real event of the girl from 10 years ago. The scoundrel is all proud. They put some titles, a background music, and improve the audio, all to make it as terrifying as possible. The boy asks if the director wants to take a look, but he says no and asks to send it right away for him to post. He asks if it wouldn't be better to send it to Fang before posting, but the director says it's not necessary because Mr. Fang said he trusts us, so I'll just post it directly. The scene changes to another company in the office. The old man was browsing the internet when the video appeared to him, and he wondered, what's this here? Video of the girl who disappeared 10 years ago? Another horror adventure. Nowadays, there's a lot of stuff like this, but it's all trash. Let me take a look. But when he watches and sees the giant monster, he's so startled that he even spills hot coffee on his pants. Staring at the screen, he thinks this video here is too good. He immediately calls everyone to watch. The people at the company are surprised by his excitement, saying, we haven't seen you this excited in a while. He says they'll understand when they watch it, and everyone starts watching. They are apprehensive and interested, but when it ends, everyone feels the same way. They want more. The boy says to the boss, this video is bizarre. The quality of the footage, the stability, and the effects. How can someone achieve such quality with just a cell phone? Moreover, he's filming at the actual location, a kind of quality that only cinematic production can achieve. How does he have so much investment? The director says he doesn't know, but it's not simple to do something like this. We'll have to look into the mastermind behind all this. Our hero is heading home, saying he looked into the clues she mentioned. And 6 months ago, some people were seen near the princess's tomb. They were unusual people in that place, and it seemed like they were looking for something. The police were called by the village people, and they arrested 2 guys. But the third person wasn't found. They all had a history of tomb raiding. In jail, the 2 who had been arrested were having a mental breakdown and went crazy. It seemed like they had seen something extremely scary. In the end, the police announced that it was just their mental impact that made them act that way, and both were arrested for stealing cultural relics. But there's something very suspicious about all this. The police found no sign of violation in the princess's tomb, and the only people who knew the details had already gone mad. Is there a secret tunnel? Where is it located? Who is the third person? All of this is still a mystery. If that person managed to steal your hairpin, they're definitely not normal. Walking in the city, he asks, are you sure your hairpin is in this direction? She leaves his body and says yes, they're getting close. Our guy tells her to get back inside and not to go out in the middle of the street. When there's no one around, I'll take you out. Our boy then notices something strange. It's not even dark yet, but the streets are empty. Is it because of the police thing? Lily guides him, pointing the way. Until they reach the alley surrounded by police tape, a crowd, and a guy with a dehydrated body. The people around are commenting that that death is scary, and the event was very suspicious. Even Officer Zhang came. Zhang asks, what do you think of this case, Xiao? Fang is approaching. Everyone is terrified by the dried-up corpse, as it's the 3rd case of a body appearing like this. And even the number of police in the city is decreasing. Zhang notices our little protagonist arriving there. While the officer next to him says, the person died around 3 in the morning last night. There's no sign on the body and no trace of the attack. Moreover, the killer seems familiar with the camera positions, as we found nothing suspicious. Similar to the last 2 cases, the cause of death will be determined as heart failure. But that's what's strange. The past victims had no heart-related problems. Zhang asks, in your opinion, what's going on? The guy says he thinks it's a series of murders indeed. And it seems they're all random and without any purpose. Whoever did it knew how to avoid the cameras and probably used some kind of poison. Zhang says that no poison was found in the other victims and no traces of drugs or anything like that. And the appearance of the corpse is this dried-up body, which is impossible for a natural death of such a short time ago. We have to think carefully if there's any other possibility. The officer asks, another possibility? I can't think of any. It's almost as if the killer were a ghost. Zhang puts his hand on his shoulder and says, as Sherlock said, eliminate all that is impossible, and what remains is the truth. Now let's go quickly. We've already sent the notice for everyone not to go out at night. and the rest will be left to the other departments. Meanwhile, he observes Fang leaving. This world is stranger than you think. Night falls and we see a guy lighting a candle. He pulls out the brooch and is making an offering, saying, "Lord, it's time." The Big Mac Eater appears on the wall. The creature licks its lips, asking if it's time to hunt again. The guy responds affirmatively, saying they can leave at any moment. The chubby one compliments him, saying that among the three, he really was the best choice, but the boy replies it's because he's lucky. The demon says that with his help, the police will never find the two of them. With this invincible weapon in my hands, even a level 4 evil spirit is easy to defeat. When those soul hunters arrive late, we'll already have evolved and left. Now, let's go for today's hunt. We see our guy having some water, talking to Lily. He asks if she feels anything, and she says the aura is becoming vague. She explains that considering the energy used in that body, she's sure. Whoever killed that person is using her hairpin. She leaves his shoulder, pointing in a direction, saying she feels something. That person is around here. Fang asks, who among those people? She says she's not sure, but it's among those people. Our hero then runs off. He looks back and tells the waiter, "I don't need anything else, thanks." The waiter looks at the glass and thinks the damn guy sat here all day, bought a water, and now leaves saying he doesn't want anything. Meanwhile, our guy enters the club. The problem is that the ghost can't perceive who the right person is. Suddenly, a girl appears while our guy tells Lily they'll walk around until she feels the energy increase. But the busty girl has already clung to him and says, "Hey cutie, do you want a drink?" Our guy is confused and she says that after the drink, they can go somewhere more private and talk about life. Or maybe she wants to try making new lives. Our hero says no and tries to push her away, but she insists, saying, "Let's have fun, little brother, you're still young." Indeed, she has a lot of fun to offer. But Lily pinches him and unintentionally he pushes the girl, who ends up far away. In an extremely painful way, and I'm not writing random stuff just to stall and you to enjoy the fall. But everyone in the bar noticed what happened. And some guys from the gang came saying, "Hey kid, causing trouble in our territory." Fang tries to explain it's a misunderstanding and was unintentional. But the guys come at him saying he's too arrogant for his age and needs to know the visiting room. At that moment, the guy puts his hand on his shoulder, but Fang tightens his fist, causing the guy to fall to the hard ground. Another crazy guy claps, saying, "You got some skills, kid, but this isn't the place for you to act like that." Lily says, "These people seem kinda dangerous. Why don't you let me finish them?" Fang thinks it's better not to, especially because he doesn't want to end up in jail. But there are already two coming to hit him in the back. But the scene changes to a drunk chubby guy walking down an alley thinking, "My business has been so bad lately. I need to go home, drinking is so good." Suddenly, he falls into someone's arms and says, "Thanks, young man. I'm trying to get home." But it's the Big Mac Eater's friend saying it's a shame, but you won't have that chance. And he tosses the brooch into his hand. Getting close to his ear, he says, "Just go straight down the alley. If you go in a straight line, you'll reach your home." As the guy leaves, he says, "Good meal, my lord." The guy moves forward, but the devil is already behind him. When they reach the wall, the demon's hands grab him and black energy emanates from the wall.